Hello everyone, LadyLazyPup here, and welcome back to another speed build. This one is actually pretty exciting. If you are a big Stardew Valley fan, just like me, now you can have the Wizard's Tower in your game. I have done Grandpa's Farm already, so if you want to check that one out, I'll make sure to keep a link here for you. I am planning on putting up the community center. Yes, I may have done that. So stay tuned for that one. But this one is the Wizard's Tower. I thought this one actually went more on theme for October. We have a lovely wizard. And oh, let me talk to you about this tower. This was an interesting thing because I really wanted to use the round walls that we got, and I absolutely said no to that. I had to. I absolutely had to. Those are the most annoying things to work with, especially when they're connected in a full round tower. You cannot place items. You cannot place items, and then if you do, you can't pick them back up, and you can't really use platforms. It was like this whole thing, so I said, screw that. We're going to just make it like an octagon, and we're going to go from there, and I think that worked out very well for us. For this, the top floor, I did decide to go with like a half wall. And the reason I went with a half wall was I didn't want it sticking through the roof. It looked really silly and I didn't like how it stuck through the roof. Plus, I wanted to have the observation tower on here and it looks really cute. It's very silly and it's actually usable. So that's actually pretty cool. But I like how the lens sticks out from the side and it looks identical to what happens in the game, so it's actually really nice. And I did go for like 3 floors up and then a basement, and each floor kind of has its own designated area and kind of like what it's going to be used for. I really liked getting to use like all the cottage living stuff because it worked out really well. And then these windows from Werewolf worked perfect too. They blended with the stones from cottage living. And I was like debating because it had to be some sort of like curved window, right? So I was like, okay, well, I could create the ones using like the magic pack. That one has those round windows, but I was like, it just didn't have that same look. But this blended in so nicely, so I couldn't say no. I couldn't. And the placement, I kind of went with, okay, what does it look like on the front, and then what works on the other side? Because you don't get to see the other sides of the tower. So I said, screw that. I'm just going to kind of choose what I want it to be, and it'll work out however we think will fit. And I also went with these really great wooden floors in here. It's that same like orangey, more like orangey tone. And I feel like all of Stardew kind of embraces, so it was perfect for this. I really liked that they added those too because they weren't original to the game, and then they did that in one of the updates, and I love this floor. It's just a little bit more rustic. It looks so nice. So we have this really great, almost spirally staircase going up, and it does go from this floor and even in the second floor, it kind of like continues and you go up again to get to the observation tower. So I just realized I'm going to call myself a liar. So it is 4 floors technically. So it's like 3 floors, and then there's like a rooftop, but the roof goes over the rooftop, and then there's a basement. Fine, whatever. It still works. It's still what I'm telling you about. So this bottom floor here, let's talk about that. I went with a platform. So it's kind of like you come in and that's like a separate room. I was debating on having the walls there, but I kind of like that it's all just one room, but it's separated by this platform. So you walk in onto the stone and then you go up onto the platform for like the wooden section to get to everything else. Now, I did take some inspiration from the Stardew Expanded as well. So it's going to be Stardew Valley, like the vanilla version, and then also Stardew Expanded, because I liked kind of having that little bit of a flavor to it. It added a little extra rooms to the wizard's place, and I really liked the greenery in that front space, so that's really why I wanted to draw the inspiration from that. Plus, the outside of the Wizard's Tower with Stardew Expanded looks really nice. You kind of get a little extra garden and stuff like that too. So that's where I draw my inspiration. It's great. It's perfect. Here I'm actually trying to put like some, bookshelves and kind of utilize the space under the stairs because it does take up a lot of space. And I was like, oh, great. I wanted to be able to use this whole downstairs area. And then I'm just like, this is really gonna put a damper on that, isn't it? So I put in some bookshelves at first. I do end up putting the ladder downstairs right there, which I think ends up being a great spot for it. I would have liked it to have been the staircase again, right? But the staircase tends up to take up way too much space, and I think the ladder going down was even better. Now, the only problem with is that I did put the kitchen downstairs, so you have to eat downstairs or put it into your inventory and then come upstairs if you want to eat in a different place. But, it's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. It works. And I did want to make sure that we had enough purple in this whole house, just because, the wizard seems to like purple. It's a very magical color. It's the color of his hair and his beard. And I think it works really nice as like a big pop of color for this place. So this downstairs I kept a little bit more normal, a little bit more natural. All the magic-y stuff is going to be upstairs. So we have like a nice fireplace and little living space over here. I kind of figured he'd be a big book reader, especially for like magical spells and things of that nature. So this is kind of like a nice cozy spot to read and just kind of, hone in on the magical skills, right? So we put a few chairs. I loved putting these mushroom chairs in. I had to shrink one because I thought it looked really cute together, and it fits in really nicely once we put a bunch of greenery around it. But we have the cushion, which I guess is actually a table. To me, I look at that and it's like a poof. It's like a thing to sit on, but it's a little table cushion. And then just like a nice chair. I think the wizard would have taken that one, right? It's a little bit more medieval, and it's got that really royally purple color to it too. So see, I did put the bookshelf over on this side instead. So we have some bookshelves, we have some sitting, and we have a lovely fireplace. And then this is kind of where I put a bunch of greenery. So just expect everything and anything that could possibly go in here. It's going to go in here. I want it to be nice and full. Kind of like if he kept his herbs and different things for spell casting over here. I mean, I figured, he's going to have the garden out front, but he's going to have some stuff inside too, because not everything is going to grow in every season. That's how it works. That's how Stardew works. So we have to work with it, right? But then we also have the table over on the right too, where I could figure, just kind of like visit with somebody. This is where you can eat. In the vanilla version of Stardew, he does have like a table and the 2 chairs with the green cushions. So I had to, get as close to that as I could. So that's what we ended up having on this floor. And then just a bunch of little embellishments and detailing. And I didn't want to have like the electric lights in here. So I do end up changing those little saucer lights into other things too. And we do use a lot of candles. There are going to be a lot of candles everywhere, just everywhere. I think that's fine. It's the wizard. If he has candles, he can light them magically. You don't have to worry about fires. It'll be fine. But I do like kind of like that cozy warmth all the candles and like all of that lighting actually brings to this room. So now I'm pretty much just doing a bunch of details and little pieces that will kind of bring it all together. We have the stuff around the fireplace, like the little logs and the little pokers and stuff. I added a little side table next to the chair with the books he's reading right now. I liked that little lantern. I feel like I use it in everything, but it's one of those things where it's like you pick that little lantern and it's like, that's what I walk around the house with for lighting. And then, oh my God, I had to put in this cactus. This cactus actually like lights up in the dark. And I thought it was like perfect for this because he's a wizard, right? You got to have that little magical plant in the corner, and it's like a cactus, and it's great. But we do have some succulents, the cactus, and I even have a cactus under the stairs too. So we pretty much have like plants from all over the place in that room. So now we're going to move up to the actual wizardy, like witchy, all the potion making kind of room, right? This is, I mean, it's pretty much his main room in the vanilla game, right? But I wanted to have a spot for the like a big books area. I wanted the cauldron to have a spot, and then we needed to have a spot for, I guess, like a summoning circle on the ground where like the Junimos pop up, right? So I wanted to make sure to have all three of these pieces in this room. So I have on this side, I made a little bit of like a step up, and then I put in some like tile stone here. It's kind of like a bright purpley glass stone in the game, but I wanted it to be a bit more natural. So I put like the stony squares instead. And I ended up putting in that frame with all like the leaves and stuff on it, the beautiful like pathos plant. I thought that looked really nice too. So of course I had to use the book from, is that the one from the Vampires pack, or is that actually also from, I don't remember now. It's one of those, right? It's got to be one of those. Anyways, those are all like those packs that have like magic, you know, it's the occult stuff. So that's there. I think that looked really good. I went with the one with the purple bookmark because obvious reasons. We need more purple. And then we have just the basic cauldron. I didn't want it to be the really fancy one from the game, so I thought that looked really nice. We did use the fun lights over here, and then I had a caged candle. I don't know why I love that one, but I think it's funny, and I think it worked really good here. So then I also surrounded the room with bookcases and had that summoning circle like right in the middle. Okay, look, for some reason I was having issues putting the staircase in. It wouldn't stack. And I know they stack. I know they do. I have done this many times. So I had to kind of like fiddle with it a little bit, and then voila, it works. And I think it looks really nice. I like the way it just kind of keeps going up. So now we're on the third floor, I guess. You know, we go up another level. And this level, I figured we need to make sure that this is also still a playable house. So this is going to be the sleeping quarters as well as a bathroom. And it was awkwardly shaped. It's like weird. And I was trying to figure out how to make this work so it wasn't so awkward. And I think we came up with a good solution. So we have a bathroom to like the side, and also in that little like crook of the stairs there. That's the full bathroom, that weird shape. Yes. And then right across from the stairs, we're going to have the bed. And then also we kind of cut off that area where I have a ladder that goes to the, not really a rooftop where you can go and stargaze and do all of that kind of stuff. I did just want to keep the bedroom kind of cozy. I didn't really go super magical with this. I went a little bit more rustic with the furniture, and I liked like the stuff with the designs on it. I wanted to keep that purple, keeping with the theme of the wizard, right? And then for the bathroom, I decided that little nook is going to have the sink, the toilets off to the side, and then the diagonal area would be where we'd put the shower. So I used the shower from Snowy Escape so that it's kind of an open shower, right? So it fits nicely there. So it kind of feels like, yes, it was meant for that. And then, of course, because we have a little nook on this side, more books, because I swear I'm making the wizard into an absolute bookworm, book nerd. Anybody who's like in love with books and loves to read, I think they're going to love this house because it pretty much just is a very tall library. Every floor has shelves with books on them. Yes, enjoy. And then some greenery with the side table. I thought that was kind of like a nice touch. So easy, simple bedroom, nice and cozy. Off we go into the basement now. And again, I wanted this to be a livable space, something that has like fully functional stuff going on. So I had to have a kitchen, and now the kitchen's in the basement because it wasn't going to fit on that first floor. I could have tried. I was debating on it. I was like, well, what if I move this stuff around? What if I make that little step up area a little bit bigger and we kind of like tuck it around the corner. No, it doesn't really work because the tower has to still be like this shape. It still has to be round. And you need more stuff in a kitchen and they're kind of bulky. So it wasn't going to work right. So I was like, screw it. We'll put it downstairs. I think that'll work. I think it looks really nice in the end. And that's what I did, okay? Don't come at me for it. If you want to put an extra room in the back of the tower where it like connects, go for it. Put your kitchen there. But for me, this worked great. So again, more bookshelves. Maybe this is more like recipes and things. But we have some bookshelves on the opposite side from the kitchen. I use the more rustic looking stuff from the new pack or for the expansion pack. For the kitchen counters, and then an ice box for the fridge. And I thought the ice box actually works well for this situation. Honestly, you probably could make this place off the grid. I don't think everything I used is off the grid, but you could probably do that if you wanted to, because I did use a lot of candles. We have some of the off the grid stuff. I just felt like that was more wizardy. I mean, I guess he could be using, you know, electricity. Why not? Electricity and plumbing. It's normal. Why can't you have a modern day wizard, right? We need the modern day wizards to come forward, okay? So we have some more of the fun lights from Realm of Magic, and then also the rug, because I really like that rug. I like the one with like all the moons and stuff. I tend to go with that theme if I go with any of the Realm of Magic stuff. You go with like that moon type of like witch or wizard's theme. Now, before I just jumped outside to do all the vines, I did also add like a nice round table. I love that table. I love that table from the horse pack. It's great. But over here, now we're outside. I wanted to get it super viney and get that everywhere on this place. And I've said this before in a video, but vines can be kind of obnoxious because the ones they give us are super square and have like very pointy edges. Like I just want it to be a little bit rounder so they kind of flow into each other. So in order to do that, you kind of have to like put a bunch of them together and like finagle it in a way that it almost looks like they're feeding off of each other. I also used a bunch of different packs for this one. So, I mean, a lot of it's going to be from the vampire pack with the vines, but I also wanted those little flower ones that kind of grow up too, just because I think looks really pretty and they kind of all blend together nicely. And then with the actual like outside area, I didn't have enough space to put the full lake that's usually by his wizard's tower, but I figured half the lake just to kind of give it some of that water and then a little step down to get like that little path that goes up to the door. So here is where we're going to have a garden and then the lovely path. As you can see, I'm trying to put that in. Picking the color for this is hard because most of the stuff in Stardew is like that orangey yellow color. And it just doesn't work perfect with this. So I was just like, what if I just use more of like a sandy tone? And I think that looks really nice. I do blend it with some dirt and some like more grassy kind of stuff. I just kind of try to mix it in a little bit more. There we go. See, just kind of erase it a little bit just so it kind of pops out through the grass. This lot is the one that's in cottage living. It's the one that's all the way at the top of like the mountain, that little lot. I think they made that one like what, Cordelia's like little cottage or something. Oh yeah, it says Cordelia's secret cottage in the corner. So yeah, this is that lot. But I thought this was like the perfect spot because it kind of does feel like, yes, you'd climb the mountain to get to the wizard's tower. So that's where I ended up putting it. I did get the big purple tree out back because I think that was like perfect. And then we're going to have a lot of little embellishments here. So I have the garden on the left, the other garden plot on the right, where I end up putting a giant lettuce. I was debating which giant thing to put there. I know like in the fall he has a giant pumpkin, but I was like, I kind of like the giant lettuce just because it looks really fun. I didn't put any plants on the left side. I was debating on it, but you know what? Fill it with whatever you want. Even put some like magical stuff over there. I think that would look really good. That cute little like broken pot with the mushroom in it is so cute. I thought it was so perfect. I love that one. It's great. It's surprising it didn't actually come with cottage living. It looks like it should have, but it didn't. So it's just there. But we have all of these like makeshift little flower pots and things out here. I used a stool to place another plant on this side. And then if you go like around the side of the wizard's tower, I figured that's where I'll have like a bee box. We could put like the, I don't know, the garbage can and all of those things, just those normal everyday things. I guess the bee box isn't really like a normal everyday thing, but you know, if you have one, it might be. Aha, there's my giant lettuce. I love that. I think it's so cute. I was like, do I put the giant aubergine? Do we need to have a giant aubergine? Nah, it's all right. I like the lettuce. This is where I just wanted to make sure that the ground was something they could walk up of. And I didn't want to have any stairs to it. So I thought it was like just nice and smooth just to get up that way. And I also wanted to blend the trees in with the surrounding nature and all the trees they use. So a lot of the pine trees everywhere, including around the little pond. Since the tower is kind of like just out in the forest, it was a little bit easier to do the greenery because it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be formal. Just a lot of grasses everywhere, all those tall grasses and weeds that you have to like knock out of the way when you have to walk around. I was tempted to put sticks everywhere too, you know, and little stones, so you have to pick them up. I mean, I did use the cute little like stone rugs you have in the game to make like those little spot on the path. And then I loved this bush. This bush is actually a base game debug bush. There's like one of the pea bushes, right? The poo bush or whatever we call them now. But it had little purple flowers on it, and I thought that looked really nice, so I put them all over the place. Now, it's not my fault if all of your Sims and every Sim around the neighborhood ends up like, you know, going to the bathroom and relieving themselves in your yard. It's not my fault, I promise. Okay, it's just because it's in the game. So at the top of the tower, I wanted just a little bit of a touch. I think he actually has like a chicken one that goes around, but I thought that one looked really good. And it's just that nice little top of the tower detailing. Of course, now adding more plants because you can't stop me. I'm going to add as many plants as I want to these things. It's the detail, right? Upstairs, I did end up adding also a chessboard because I figured this was like a good spot for it next to the window, next to the observation tower. Just little things in here. I didn't want to put too much. I was debating like, oh, should I put like a bunch of different crafting machines and like a bunch of different skill building machines? Do I need more magical stuff? So I was like, nah, I think that top level is like pretty simple. You know, we don't need too much going on. I feel like both of those just kind of work well together. But I did want to add in just like little details to spaces. So even like in this little closet area, I was like, okay, this can be a little storage corner. We put some boxes there, maybe another stack of books because you can't have enough books. I'm telling you, it's not possible to have enough books. So he has like another stack of like maybe some old trunk ones that are kind of getting a little messed up. So we put some over here. And then this is where I kind of decided on a couple different cute lamps that kind of would just brighten up the place. Since it is a little dark, a couple of the spots have funky lighting, like that little corner with the ladder and the top floor with the observation tower. That also is going to have funky lighting because it's technically outside. So it has that outside lighting, but with the lights on and at night, it actually looks indoors. It's just going to have a little bit more of that blue tinge that looks like it's outside. Oh, I loved that little, the bug light. I thought that actually was a cute touch. I feel like he would have one of those. It was really nice. Then last but not least, we wanted to make sure to add some more details into the kitchen. I was debating on putting full cabinets down here so it had like a lot of storage space, but I kind of liked the idea of open cabinet space. So we have some of those just shelves up there, and I took some time finding as much stuff as I could to put onto the shelf. and then having to like raise them up and place them there to make it look like they fit. I was always trying to keep in mind, like, this is the wizard. What kinds of things would the wizard have here? Dishes, baskets, you know, giant bottles of olives and peppers. Things that just seemed very normal to me. But I thought this ended up looking really cute and kind of natural. You know, put up, of course, more books here. God, I put books everywhere. What is wrong with me? It's like, open space. What do I need to put here? Books. What do I need to put here in this spot? A bookshelf. What goes over here? Oh, a couple just stacked books everywhere. And my Sims games are just books galore. But after putting back the lovely cabinets over here and making sure everything's nice and lined up, we finished our lovely build for the Wizard's Tower. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I've been trying to do a lot of different builds here and a Let's Play and all those fun things. And of course, you can download this off the gallery, so let me know if you do. And just have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, everybody!